This spring from 8 a.m. on a race day, so from 8 a.m. on Cup Day, you can get double fixed odds on the Cup. Your favourite runner there, Ed White, Alaskander and Dr. Turf with us. And time for Studs and Duds. We'll start off obviously on the kinder end of the spectrum and the Studs, Ed.
I'll have a very selfish stud. Doug Martin, he happened to be the NFL's most valuable fantasy football player, happened to be on my fantasy football team and led me to a very important win. 214 total yards, 2 touchdowns, a rookie out of Boise State, played very well for Tampa Bay and led them to a big win over the Vikings.
How's your college going at the moment?
My college my college, Oregon, is undefeated. Beat USC today, 62-51.
It's a low scoring game.
Low scoring game.
I think the defense is traveling.
Always bet the over.
You asked.
Hey?
Always bet the over when Oregon plays. That's
really?
Yeah, always. They always exceed the over.
That's a big score. 62.
That's ridiculous.
62.
700 yards total offense.
Yeah. My stud is, anyone who doubted whether Peyton would come back after that neck issue, the quarterback for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Wow, is he having a great season? Absolutely extraordinary. 305 yards, 3 touchdowns last week. That's not even extraordinary for him.
Nah. He's catchy. He's really getting in the groove.
My stud is going to be Rob Gronkowski. He got off to a shaky start to the season.
He was a dud, I reckon.
He was your dud. He was your dud.
He got much criticism, not only on Betstars and Stripes, but outside of this show he got much criticism. But it seems though he's back. He caught 8 passes for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Rams. So that's a great game, and it gets him elevated to a stud for this week.
And he did a great little celebration where he was pretending to be one of the guards at the palace, apparently. So pretty funny stuff.
And on to the duds of the week. Ed, first of all.
Duds. I'm going to go right back to Wembley with Steven Jackson, the St. Louis Rams running back. 7 carries for 23 yards. It's a tough situation, Jackson. He's an older player. He's had some injuries. He's probably going to be traded. But at the moment, the Rams don't really trust him, and he's kind of, just sort of, I don't want to say half-assing it. That's not right. But he's not really playing. He's not the Steven Jackson we used to know and love, and he's really struggling a bit.
My dad dreams of 7 carries and 23 yards. Jamal Charles. It's a bit unfortunate, unfair actually singling out anybody from Kansas City Chiefs.
True.
But he was only given the ball 5 times, but totaled 10 yards last week.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
No, not good.
My dad is going to be also Who Am I in Victor Cruz, the wide receiver for the Giants. He had 2 catches for 23 yards. That's all he did. 2 catches for 23 yards against Dallas' defense, and nearly blew a game that the Giants ended up winning, but could potentially have slipped out of their fingers.
Dallas played very, very well in that game, and it's I think we had mentioned that was a possibility, Dallas plus the points last week, and I believe that if you took that, they would have covered, because I think the line was 7-ish maybe, 6-ish, and they won by, I think, 5. So, Giants won by 5. So, pretty good effort by Dallas.
A couple of SMSs before we take a break. Pete says, who does Ed think are the top chances in the NBA? We gave a little bit of a touch on it earlier, but your top chances.
I like Miami. I think I like Oklahoma City. And I think eventually the Lakers will come good. I'd say those are probably the 3 teams I like the most.
And hey guys, loving this season of NFL. Been following my team from when Chris Chandler was quarterback, but absolutely love Matty Ice.
Chris Chandler from Everett, Washington, I believe. Yes, the Falcons are having a great year. We'll talk about them. They got a big game coming up this week against the. I'm trying to remember who they play. The Cowboys.
They keep winning.
Matt Ryan's been great. He's been fantastic. Matty Ice, that's the guy he's referring to. Been great.
It's a great round.
Yes, it is. It's a very interesting
week. This week is a
Agreed.
Really, I know it's
Agreed.
Obviously the halfway mark some of them are over, but some very, very interesting games.
I agree,
this week.
Doc. Yeah, it's a really good week.
I think the Falcons are vulnerable this week.
I agree with that as well. Yeah.
We'll take a look at those after our next break. This is Betstars and Stripes. A reminder to get your Melbourne Cup sweep ready. Visit Betstars Mate Stakes, matestakes.betstar.com.au. Get your sweep started for Tuesday's Melbourne Cup.
Hey, sorry, we're going to go to break now.
You go first.
I was just going to ask Al. No, sorry. I was just going to ask Al. Because every office and blokes having barbies, they always have their cup sweeps, and you can do it on your webpage.
You do it online. Do it online. You do it through Facebook. You can do it through our website. You can click through to it, and it's all online. You do your own. We don't put you in with random people. So you, Doc, you come out and you find your 23 mates, and you sit there and say, well, all 24 of us will go into the sweepstake. We'll do it, and the prizes are great. Like the first prize, for example. So you create your own prizes amongst your mates, okay, and then all the winners will go into a barrel, and we'll draw one out. First prize is a self-portrait. It's taking the piss a little bit, but it's a self-portrait in this big embossed kind of frame and all the rest. It's all on our website. Go to betstar.com.au. It's a great
I
competition.
think we get the idea that you're taking the pee because on your front page, because it's, we all used to do it with scissors in the newspaper. Your bloke's chopped his finger off. I mean, get real, canary pants.
Break in. Plenty more to come on Betstars and Stripes. Welcome back to Betstars and Stripes. As is always the case, a lot of our most robust discussion occurs in the breaks.
Could do a show about that.
We just about could, yeah. It probably wouldn't last very long.
We should get a tape of a Dr. Turf uncut. That would be some interesting.
Just a little bit of background and what's going on in the world of racing at the moment. The wonderful world.
Yes,
great stuff.
The very, very good side of it, indeed. So we look ahead to the weekend's matches. Of course, we have had our Thursday game, but plenty of big fixtures on Sunday.
Yeah, let's have a look through them. Let's see the games that are going to be broadcast live on Fox Sports, 5 a.m. on Monday. The Cardinals taking on Green Bay. Cardinals are at $5.50 into $5. Green Bay $1.16 out to $1.19. The line is a flat 10. Overs and unders 43.5.
I think Green Bay wins this by more than 10. I think Green Bay minus 10 is the bet here, personally. I don't see Arizona recovering, particularly in Lambeau Field. I just don't see it.
Having said that, and I think you're right, they're not convincing yet, Green Bay, though, are they?
Yeah.
They're just...
Struggled against Jacksonville last week. I agree with that. And Arizona does have a pretty good defense.
Green Bay 5-3?
They are 5-3. Yeah.
Cardinals 4-4.
Yeah. I just don't see... Yeah, I mean, you're right. That's a convincing argument, Doc.
I actually think it'll be a low-scoring game. I think under 43.5
right, okay.
is not going to be a bad bet there.
Well, 30-10 is still under 43.
Agreed. Yeah. They can win by more than 10 and still be under 43.5. Absolutely. We can both win.
I don't like taking big minuses.
Yeah. I know. I agree.
I don't like taking
I don't either.
How did it treat you last week, Doc, when you took the big minus?
Well, 7.5 was... About
the
limit. It's about the limit.
I agree with you. 10 is a lot of points. I do agree with you.
And I think it's the same with AFL. I mean, I don't like big minors as in AFL as well. I mean, teams, they don't bury. I mean, they quite often don't bury teams. They can be at 8-10 goals up at half time and win by 8 or 10 goals, don't you? I think it's a dangerous... I don't think there's much upside. Okay, I'll sum up. I don't think there's much upside in taking big minors.
Yep.
With line betting.
No, I agree with that.
So live on 1HD, 5 a.m. Monday morning, Chicago Bears favourites $1.53. They go to Tennessee at $2.58. The line there is 3.5, so that's going to be in the range for Doc, 3.5 line. The total's 43.5.
This is a good game, this.
It is, I agree.
And again, I think Chicago actually... I reckon they should be shorter than that. I just think it's the fact that they're the away team.
Yep.
So they've struggled a bit. They battled to get over Carolina last week, I think, and
they win by one
point. Yeah, so I think this is a danger game. Actually, I don't think the Bears necessarily lose this, but what's the line there?
3.5 plus 3.5.
I think that's a dangerous one. Actually,
I don't know.
It's dangerous.
Carolina, they won one game before last week. Well, they still won one game.
Yeah,
I just think maybe they were. I don't know.
Bears are tough. Bears can't put a lot of points up. That's the problem. They great defense, but they can't put a lot of points up. So that's a worry when you're counting on the Bears to put some points.
Well, it's only a
field goal and a half.
It's a field goal and a bit.
Yeah. That famous 3.5 line.
Yeah. Live on Foxtel, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We've got the Vikings. They've been back $2.95 into $2.78. Seahawks out to $1.46. The line is 4 overs and unders 38.5.
Seattle good things.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. Seattle at home. I think Minnesota's sort of, as I said, hit that wall. I think it'll be okay. They've had a really good season, better than people expected. Seattle needs to rebound after that ugly loss at Detroit. It's kind of I don't want to say it's a make or break for Seattle, but it's a game that they need to win at home.
We get to watch a lot of the Giants play, and no different live, 1HD, 8:15 Monday morning. Pittsburgh Steelers, $2.48. The Giants, $1.56. The line is a flat 3, and the overs and unders are 48.
This is a great game.
Good game. I agree. And it's funny, Pittsburgh is not able to find a hotel. So the NFL rules are you have to fly in the day before. But they weren't able to, they didn't want to displace anybody, obviously, from the hurricane. So they're going to fly in day of, which is very unusual. But you think that's a disadvantage. But remember, the Giants guys have probably been living through this sort of hurricane situation, depending on where they live. So
they got their own.
That's almost a toss-up, in my opinion, that way. Steelers looking better. Some reason I have a feeling that they will play very well in this game, Doc. I just have a feeling that they're coming together for some reason.
It's, well, the big quarterbacks here, too. It's two glamour
It
quarterbacks
is.
with Eli and Big Ben.
Big Ben and Eli, yeah.
Should be a beauty.
I think this would be a great game, yeah. From a betting standpoint, might be one you want to stay
Watch.
away from.
One to
But,
watch.
I think the Steelers are going to be in this one all the way.
Atlanta, this is going to be an intriguing game. Dallas Cowboys, 274 into 266. They go to Atlanta, $1.50. The line is 3.5, and the overs and unders are 47.5 points.
I think Dallas
all
has a
yours,
chance here. I think they're a chance. I think they played very well last week against the Giants, and I
second
believe they played well the week before. I'm just going back and have a quick look at who they played. Did they have a bye? No, I just know they've strung together a couple of good games. They need to win it. They have to win it. Atlanta at some point is just going to have a
Drop
bad
one.
game at some point. Now, that's a bad way to bet.
No
you
one
know?
believes in Atlanta.
They're
It's
seven.
amazing.
That's right.
They're
They
7
still
and zip,
don't.
and
You're
no
right.
one believes. And we'll
You're
go
right.
through the Super Bowl market in a minute, but there's still a $9 chance to win the
That's
Super Bowl.
true.
And they're 7-0. But I'm with you, Ed. I actually think the bet of the round is Dallas at the head-to-head, and I'll have something on the plus as well.
Plus.
I don't disagree with that.
I know it's a difficult comparison to make, but is there a touch of the Sydney Swans about that in the sense where it took until probably the death for people to actually go, yeah, they're feeding.
They took them seriously.
I think there is. Yeah,
the
I
only
think there
difference
is.
is they've gone nearly half the season undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, Sydney didn't do that. I mean, 7 and zip is 7 and zip in anyone's language.
It is, and I think you look at the Patriots team that was undefeated but then lost to the Giants, and there've been Green Bay last year that had such a great year, didn't get through. So I think people are waiting for that. Okay, that's great, even if they go 16-0. Honestly, I don't think people are going to believe in him. I really don't. I know that sounds bizarre.
Live on ESPN at 12:30 lunchtime Tuesday. Philadelphia 246 into 228. So they've been a big go. The Saints have drifted out to $1.65. The line is 3. The overs and unders 51.5.
I'm never backing Philadelphia ever again, so you two can handle this game.
Yeah, look,
I'm out.
This is a tough one. I think it's a tough one. The Saints, obviously the Eagles will be able to move the football on the Saints because the Saints defense can't stop anybody. But that Saints offense can really put up some points with Drew Brees. They didn't do it against Denver, and that's a bit of a worry. They didn't look very good against the Broncos. The Eagles' defense isn't bad, especially against the run, but pass-wise, yeah. So I see this as a high-scoring game. I'm not sure why. I have a gut feeling the Eagles might win it. It's in New Orleans. Look, I think this is a barometer game for Philly, Doc. I think this is they lose it, get blown out. I think that's it. Andy Reid's done. I think Vic sits down. I think Foles gets to start for the rest of the year. But if they play well and hang in there, then maybe they sort of battle for the rest of the season.
What's the total points here, Al?
51.5.
That's at the high end.
That is at the high end. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to hit that.
I may have to stay out.
Yeah, you may stay away from that one.
How can you watch it? What do you mean?
It's real hard.
Some of the futures markets, guys, we'll go through them very
Yes.
quickly. Houston 6-1. That's their record. They're $6 favourites. New England are $7.50 into $7. The Packers, they're an $8.50 chance. 49ers, they firmed up just a little bit. $9 into $8.50. As I touched on earlier, Atlanta, they're 7 and zip. They're $10 into $9. Denver have been the big short note. They've been $15 into $9.
Yep.
The Giants, they're $9.50. Chicago, $13. A couple of drifters are Baltimore out to $19. San Diego, $34. And the rest of the teams are $34 or greater.
Look, I think Giants are definitely, as I've said all along, as long as they're at pretty good value, I think it's a team worth looking at. Bears the same way. I think they're decent value there. And the 49ers, if you look 49ers Falcons, about the same money. You're going to take the experienced team, the 49ers, I think, the team that can play defense, the team that's a known quantity, and that's probably Atlanta's still a bit of an unknown
So
quantity.
the betting there reflects the lack of respect for Atlanta, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.